Good morning, everyone. Last day we have discussed about the covalent bonds, nature of the covalent compounds, as well as the dipole moment. How to find the value of the dipole moment in a compound, how to add the value of the dipole moment, as the dipole moment is a vector quantity. Today we are going to discuss the next type of the chemical bond, that is called the coordination bond. Till last year we have only discussed the two different type of the bonds, that is the covalent bond as well as the electrovalent bond. This is the third one, that is the coordinate bond. In the previous two, when we were discussing, I have said that the ionic bonds are made by the transfer of electron. One of the element donates the electron and next one accepts the electron. But in the case of coordination compounds, it is not the donation or the acceptation. It is the sharing of electron, but not just like that of the covalent system. The covalent system we are showing the mutual sharing. That means one electron from the one system and another electron from the another system, which we are binding with each other. But in this case, in the case of the coordination system, it is not the same. In the case of the coordination bond, the sharing of electron is taking place, but not from both the system. It is not the mutual sharing. It is a one-way sharing. Only one of the element is sharing both the electrons, and that is the one-way sharing. And such type of bonds are called the coordination bond. Sometimes it is also called the dative bonds. So we are going to see some of the examples. We are seeing the example of the carbon monoxide. We are also going to see the example of the ozone. These are some of the compounds which are making the coordination bond. So when you will see the carbon and oxygen, the carbon have total 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons. And what is the number of electrons with the oxygen? Having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 electrons. That means 2 more electron is needed to oxygen to complete the octet, and there are 4 more electron needed to complete the octet for the carbon. So oxygen can easily get these of the 2 electrons from the carbon and can complete their octet. But it's not the carbon which can easily complete their octet. If it gets the electron from the oxygen, the octet of the oxygen will be disturbed, and there's no any other way to complete the octet. So the last type of the bond, that the coordination bond, takes place, and for the bond, both the electrons are provided by the oxygen. No any electron is provided by the bond for that third bond, that is the coordination bond, and here it is the electrons provided by the oxygen. You can see the first pair containing 1 electron from carbon, 1 from oxygen. The next pair is containing 1 electron from carbon, 1 from oxygen. But in the last pair, both the electrons from the oxygen. We are showing the electrons of oxygen with the help of the dot and electron of carbon with the help of the cross. So this is the condition. In this way, you can see that the octet of carbon is completed, as well as the octet of oxygen is also completed. And what's about the nature of the bonds? When you will see the nature of the bond in between carbon and oxygen, the first 2 bonds were the normal covalent bond made by the mutual sharing of electron. That means 2 electrons were shared by the carbon as well as the 2 electrons were shared by the oxygen. But the last bond is made by the one-way sharing of the electrons, and those of the electrons are shared by the oxygen. So it will be shown with the help of the arrow. In some of the places, we write it in the way C triple bond O, but in the last bond, there some charge development takes place. Here, oxygen by donating the electron, in the sharing of the electron, it gets the positive charge and carbon gets the negative charge. This is another way to represent the molecule. So the coordination bond can be represented with the help of the arrow or with the help of the charges. We are also seeing the ozone. When you will see the ozone, I am just removing it. When you will see the ozone, the oxygen having 6 electrons in their valence shell. This is the 3 oxygens. The middle one have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 electrons in its valence shell. Same in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they are completing their octet. This is the condition of the O2. diatomic oxygen molecule, which is already a very much stable molecule. So the system is stable, there's no problem with this configuration. But what's about this one, the last one? It needs 2 more electrons. Having 6 electrons in their valence shell, it needs 2 more electrons. And from where it will get the 2 electrons? It will get in the form of the coordination bond. So 2 electrons in the form of the coordination bond, it gets from the middle oxygen and gets the complete octet. So this is the coordination bond. When you will discuss about the nature of the coordination bond, surely the coordination bond is made by the sharing of electron, so that is not an ionic bond. That is a bond made by the sharing of electron. But when you will see the nature of sharing, it is not similar to that of the covalent system. The covalent system have the complete mutual sharing, so there was no any charge at all. But when you will see the coordination bond, the sharing is there, surely the sharing is there, but the sharing is not similar to that of the covalent system. And if the sharing is not similar to that of the covalent system, then what? The system will show some ionic character, and that ionic character can be represented in the form of the formal charge. So these are the coordinate bonds have the covalent property as well as the ionic property, that means the polar property, and these of the polar property can be calculated in the form of the formal charge, and we are going to get the formal charge. How to find the formal charge in these of the species? So when we see the formal charge, surely you knew the term formal, so that is the formal charge, not the real charge, you can say. So when you will see the formal charge, you will calculate the formal charge equal to valence shell electron in free state, when the atom is not reacted with any of the element. When a species is surviving in the form of the atom, then whatever the electron in their valence shell is there, that is called the valence shell electron in free state, minus unbonded electrons which is surviving after making a bond, minus half of the bonded electrons. I am taking an example and trying to explain you that what is the formal charge. I am taking carbon monoxide. I have already drawn the electron dot structure of the carbon monoxide. You have also drawn the same, because we have discussed about the carbon monoxide as well as the ozone. When you will see this species, there are 2 elements in this one. The first one is the carbon. We are talking about the formal charge of the carbon. Then what is the number of electron in the free state of the carbon? When carbon was not making any bond, then how many electrons were there in the valence shell of the carbon? The electronic configuration of carbon is 2, 4. That means the 4 electron in the valence shell, and that is the 3 electron in the valence shell when the system was free. And what is the number of unbonded electrons? When you will see the figure, when you will see the electron dot structure, you will find that there are 2 unbonded electrons. Here minus unbonded electron, that is 2, minus half of the bonded electrons. Half of the bonded electron. How many bonded electrons are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 bonded electron. And half of the 6 equal to 3. So on calculation we will get 4 minus 2 minus 3, that is minus 1. This is the formal charge on carbon. What's about the oxygen? What is the charge on the oxygen? When you will see the condition of the oxygen formal charge, then the valence shell electrons, when oxygen was not taking part in the bond formation, the oxygen have atomic number 8, electronic configuration 2, 6 according to Bohr. So what is the number of valence shell electron? It's 6. So there are 6 electrons minus unbonded electron. In this compound you can see that there are 2 unbonded electrons. So the number of unbonded electrons is 2, minus half of the bonded electron according to your formula, half of the bonded electron. And how many bonded electrons are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 again, because these are the bonded electrons belongs to the oxygen as well as the carbon. So half of the 6. Again, after calculation you will get 6 minus 2 minus 3, that is plus 1. So you can say that in the coordination bond, which of the species loses the electron or which of the species donates the electron, that will get the positive formal charge, and those which gets the electron by the sharing, they will get the negative formal charge. I think you understood. You can practice yourself with the help of the ozone or nitric acid molecules. We have already discussed the electron dot structure of the ozone, so you can discuss by taking the example of the ozone. In the next class, we will discuss about the structure of the molecules, and before that the limitation of the Kozel-Lewis approach. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.